So this is in Independence, Kentucky. This deck here, it had peeling paint. Something super wicked. It had peeling everywhere. Everywhere that the eye can see, it has peeling. You can see that's all gone now. It's all been encapsulated by a coating system that we call Kong armor. Lifetime deck armor. A thick build, ultra tough, high stretch deck armor coating system that can actually encapsulate and lock down peeling deck paints, right? Keeps deck owners from replacement. But this deck also had some other problems. It had rotten boards in here. It had rotten rail systems, so it had rails and rot all up in there. What we did was we came in, we washed the structure up, and then we replaced all the bad rotten boards. We even did so here on this structure, we even did joist repair. So look, let me show you real quick. Outside of the peeling paint, this was another major problem that we even did joist repair in here. Also, the steps were messed up really bad. They were unlevel, they were sunk in, they had problems, right? They were just old, beat down, and not a really good way to describe the situation they were in. They were just in a bad situation. We came in and we fixed them all up. We leveled them up, added new risers where it needed it, added splices where it needed it, made it strong and level and beautiful again. Look how pretty. So they had peeling paint, they had rotten boards, they had a busted down stair system, they had rotten rails, rotten joists, and we came in and solved all that in one shot with one company and one very special coating system, the Kong Armor Lifetime Deck Armor System. Let's talk about some of the benefits of Kong. So UV block down here, talking about super UV block. So Kong, it has 7 to 10 times the amount of UV block as thin residential deck paints and stains. So the UV rays will come down and hit this and they'll deflect back up into the atmosphere where they belong. Splinter lock technology is another really cool feature of the high build Kong armor. As you can see, it locks down and encapsulates splinters, so you can come out and actually run your hand down your deck like this and not have to worry about getting eaten up with splinters and that type of stuff. You can see how high build the film is. Super high build, super encapsulation ability. So all of this was frayed wood and splintered, and if somebody would have ran their hand across it like that, it would have ate them up, right? But with Kong, it's all encapsulated under this really high build film, and it protects kids and adults from puncture injury from splinters, right? True water lock capability. Let's talk about it, right? So all of the fastener entry points on this deck system are covered over. Look, no water can get to the fasteners. What's that do? Well, it stops the rust to rot cycle. Your fasteners rust, then your boards react and they rot. If we can get actual physical barrier protection over top of your fasteners, we can stop that, arrest that rust to rot cycle, and dramatically increase the life of your deck system, right? So what else did we do here for this customer? Well, let's look. We added braces. We call this a Larry brace, and it's basically just a mortar to rail brace that'll actually hold your rail system rock solid and strong. It's never going anywhere again. Before, this was leaning, it was swinging back and forth. We put that Larry brace in, it's solid as a rock. It's never moving again, right? Also, show you one of the really cool things about Kong that people like a lot. It's how all of our posts finish. So all of our posts, if you look at them, they don't have any of the large cracks and imperfections in them. Most people, when they get their deck painted or resurfaced, at the end, all of these cracks and everything that they have, what's called deck post checking, they're all left open, and it just looks horrid. You have these big large cracks and everything in your deck post. We have a special filler here at Kong Armor that actually fills in deck post cracks. It cures up 3 to 5 times harder than concrete. You can go at it with an ice pick, you can go at it with a hammer and a screwdriver. It's super tough. It's not coming out of there. Actually has 7 to 10,000 psi resistance, so it can actually fight to hold deck post cracks closed. Here's a really big one that we closed off. See, it's got that silverback epoxy down in there. You could try to chip away with that with a chisel or an ice pick or whatever you want, but it won't come out of there. It's super tough. You can kind of see it if you zoom in on it, but once you back up, somebody just walking by, it looks uniform, high build, beautiful, almost composite looking when they're done, right? So think about this for a second. From the peeling paint and the rotten board, what we call ugly deck mess that was here, to 2 visits later, they've got one of the most beautiful decks in all of Northern Kentucky. It's one of the most beautiful in this neighborhood. It might be the most beautiful. I mean, right? What's the big benefit here? They likely saved 30 grand versus switching to a composite plank versus the tear down to frame replacement they were facing because of not being able to resolve the peeling paint that was here. Kong has it all locked down for life, right? It's all gone, it's all done. They'll never see it again. It's over, right? We can do the same for you. I'll tell you what, if you live in Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, Southeast Indiana, Dayton, Ohio even, doesn't matter, and click below to learn more about Kong Armor or sign up for a free quote.